Welcome to this tutorial. This is going to be a worked example that has to do with calculating percentages, and the example is here, and I'm going to walk you through the solution that's presented in mystatlab, and then I'm going to show you a similar approach to solving it in Excel. So this is a contingency table. It has age ranges and it has the percentages of males between this range that had a certain salary or less. And the first question is asking us to what percentage of women were ages 45 to 54. 45 to 54, this from the sample we found that 5.0% were in that range. Now, what fraction of the total is that is what we are interested in finding. So then we have to calculate the percentage of all women that were employed in that range, which is going to be summing everything that's here, which is what is done for you here. So the total is 74.8. Now you divide that 5, which is what the amount between 45 and 54 was, dividing 5 by 74.8, and you end up with 6.7%. The problem also goes on to ask you to display that graphically, and it means what we did here, we translated everything for each section into a percentage of the total. So that's what this table represents, and then we're going to do a plot of these percentages versus the ages, and we do different bars for male and female. Now that's looking at it in Excel. A couple of tips before we move on here. To import this table in Excel, you hover over this, then you click on copy table to clipboard. Once you have the table copied to the clipboard, you will then be able to paste it into Excel. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of things which will more than answer the question, but it shows you how quickly you can do it in a systematic way. So let's go ahead and find the total for the male by using the sum formula, and we can copy this formula here to give the total for the female. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this as a percentage for male, and I'm gonna also do a column for percentage female. Now to calculate the percentage male in this cell, that would be the number of male divided by the total, and because I know I'm gonna want to reference the total, I'm gonna lock this by hitting F4, and you will see, notice it's just B8 here. Once I hit F4, it changes to $B and $8. And what does that represent? Let's go ahead and change this to percentage. What that represents in the formula, if I hold this handle and drag it, and it's copying everything here, what it does, it keeps the reference to B8 constant for all of these cells. You notice it's going from B2 divided by B8, then it goes B3, it's still divided by B8, since B8 represents the total which you would want it to reference. So that's locking the reference. For female, it would be a similar calculation. The actual number for that range divided by the total, and again you hit F4 to lock it in, and we want to change this to a percentage, so we can made that a percentage, and then we're going to copy this formula down to everything here. Now that's going to give you the percentage for each age range subdivided into genders. Now, for us to produce the bar chart that we're being asked for, which is a graphical display, um, let's go ahead and do that in Excel. We want to put this column here, so we highlight this column, you hit Control. You want to plot this column as well, then you hit Control and plot this column as well. Then you want to insert a graph. You're going to be doing a graph, so you're going to be inserting the graph. What kind of graph are you interested in? That's when you're going to make your choice. We're going to use a column graph here, and a column graph is vertical as columns are, and a bar graph is horizontal. So really, we want a bar graph, and we want it to have the two criteria separated. So you hit on that, and then it populates, so you end up with this graph that shows a plot of the percentage male right beside the percentage female, and it's separated into the age ranges based on the data that you have right here.